Once the vehicle is raised and safely supported, you're going to remove your 21mm lug nuts. Remove your hubcap. Remove your wheel. Right here is a pinch bolt that holds the ball joint to the knuckle. We're going to spray this down with some penetrating oil. Then if you come right over here, you're going to notice you have another mounting bolt there, which will also have a nut on the top, and then one more located right here, also with a nut. We're going to use an 18mm to remove this, and on the other side I'm also going to use an 18mm to hold the bolt. Let's remove this nut. There it is, minus the noise. That little bonk. Next I'm going to use a pickle fork and my hammer, and I'm going to try to separate the ball joint from the knuckle. As that happens, this ball joint area will drop down. Let's try turning this over. Okay, separated pretty good. Get this out of here. You just want to pay attention to make sure you didn't damage the backing plate and potentially push it up against the rotor. If you did, just adjust it so it's away. I'm going to continue on to these bolts using a 21mm socket down here and a 21mm wrench up on the top. Wrench up here, hold that nut. Okay, remove that bolt, and I'll also grab the nut. We're going to do the same for this one right here, continuing with our 21mm. There it is. Now we're going to continue with our nice long pry bar, and we want to be very careful because there's nothing really holding this in, exception of just pressure from all sides. So as I try to draw this down from the knuckle, we want to just be careful to make sure nothing's underneath here that could potentially get hurt, person, pet, anything like that. All right. Pull that right out of there. Let's put a tiny bit of never seize up inside this ball joint hole. Now it's time to install our control arm. Start it in up along the top here, just kind of get it settled. Now I'm going to grab the ball joint area. Just try to get this up in there. Okay, that's right up there. Now I'm going to grab something, a jack, so I can lift this up a little bit because I need to get it almost as flat as possible so I can get these bushings started. All right, so I just got this set so I can put a screwdriver up through here, and that's just going to hold it so it doesn't move around on me as I try to jack this up. Let's get that bolt started. That's not started on there. Let's continue on to this one. Just going to use my pry bar. What we're trying to do here is try to straighten out this bolt so it'll go straight up through. There we go. That nut up on there. Ratchet strap off of here. Let's get this out of here. So now I need to line the hole up on the inside. The ball joint has like a little slot for where the bolt's supposed to go through. And sometimes when you're doing all that pressing, it can press it up too far in. That looks great. Let's get our nut on there. Now that all three of these bolts are started with the nuts on them, we can go ahead and snug them up. So let's start by tightening up these 21mm bolts. I've got my 21 wrench on the nuts on the top. Just bottom that out. Same for this one. Now we're going to switch up to the 18 and tighten up our ball joint pinch bolt. It's time to torque these 21mm headed bolts to 107 foot-pounds. My wrench on the top there. Moving along. Torqued, torqued. Let's move to the pinch bolt. It's going to be torqued to 46 foot-pounds. Wrench on there. There we are. Now it's time to get our wheel up on here. Lift it up. Grab your hubcap. You've got your little valve stem hole. Line it up with the valve stem. Lug nut. Let's torque these lug nuts to 83 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay, so now that you finish your repair, it's important to make sure that you get your car safely down to a reputable local alignment shop.